This is a selfie video at 2:30 in the morning. You can't see me because I'm in the woods in my car at 2:30 in the morning. And I'm laying awake thinking about all the bullies in my life that I didn't choose to be in my life. Insurance companies and bureaucracies and governments and police and tax assessors and IRS. All of these fucking bullies. And I didn't vote for any of them. And I didn't ask to be bullied. And I was so conditioned to be bullied as a child by other people that was the only work that I did, was to deal with interpersonal bullying. But man, we're just systemically trained to accept bullying. And I was sitting here and I was thinking, what could I do? And then I realized that I need to get people to tell their stories. I don't need to be recording their stories, but I need to get people to tell their stories. I need somebody else to be recording them. It's important to me that I find somebody else to follow me around to record people's stories. Because I want to ask questions like, who are the bullies in your life? What is your experience of being alive like? I want people to write out their stories. And I want to collect them into notebooks for the tourists to see. I want beautiful displays of people's stories. And I want to give them to everybody that wants to sit peacefully on a corner, wherever, anywhere in Ashland, with these books, with a jar that says, I stand in solidarity with my fellow humans. With flyers that say that. And I want to take all the money that we raise and I want to buy land and pay for people's court fees and lawyers and get really powerful lawyers and get people some space to be and take some of the pressure off from the bullies. Because we can collectively stand up to the bullies with no effort if we are not hungry, tired, and scared. We can fix hungry. That's easy. And fixing hungry also fixes tired and scared. It's done through community. We just need to stand in solidarity with our fellow humans. We just need to stand in solidarity with our fellow humans. That'll resonate. That's easy. That doesn't cause cognitive dissonance. The thing that causes the cognitive dissonance is the distinction between fellow humans and my experience of being in solidarity. Once we've accepted that it makes no sense to do anything other than to stand in solidarity with our fellow humans because we are living on a tiny rock that is hurtling through space at thousands of miles an hour around a big ball of fire. We're sloshing around on our axis. And we have no awareness of who we are or what we are. We have no awareness of the 3 to 4 pounds of microbes that live in us and on us, that we are in a symbiotic relationship with, that we must live in solidarity with, because we cannot be at peace unless we do. We cannot be at peace unless we live in solidarity with nature, in solidarity with everything that there is to be connected to. Connection literally is created by the words in solidarity. Bernie Sanders is a genius. it doesn't matter what happens in politics, because as the fact that our Congress did a sit-in on Congress, as evidenced by that, this this tiny wet rock, this tiny wet rock that is sloshing through space around a giant ball of fire in universes that are spinning around universes. This tiny wet rock is not at all ruled by the forces that we believe they are ruled by, because those forces are the ones that made the schools, that gave us the textbooks. And we are trained to believe what we are programmed. But we can change that by standing in solidarity and sharing our stories, because that's how we really learn. There's two different kinds of sauerkraut. American sauerkraut is cabbage that's so filled with poisons that it doesn't have microbes in solidarity with it. And water that has been so bleached and has been so messed with that it doesn't at all resemble the water that's flowing through the creek in Lithia Park. We were born from the kind of water that's flowing through the creek in Lithia Park. The reason that we don't drink that is because we've fucked that up. We need to be in solidarity with the water because we're made of it. We need to be in solidarity with the trees because they breathe for us. Two kinds of sauerkraut. The American kind, terrible cabbage, terrible water, poisons, not resembling nature. You put them together and you put them into a jar, and absolutely nothing interesting or sustaining for life will happen, because there's no solidarity between the microbes and the thing that's alive. And it doesn't make medicine. Probiotics are literally made from something like the other kind of sauerkraut because it's in solidarity. But we add vinegar to the American mixture to mimic the sourness that is the indication of it being a probiotic thing. You know, you can taste the microbes. There are so many of a particular kind of microbe that you can taste them. Being able to taste a microbe is the microbe standing up and saying, we are here, we are here, we are here. And some of us, like me, can taste color. And I think that might be the microbe standing up and saying, we are here. And I think when we feel something dying, when we see logging trucks barreling down the road, I think we're hearing things say, we are here. And we are not crazy, because everything is here. All of the microbes, all of the things that you fear, all of it, it's all on this tiny, wet rock that is hurtling through space at thousands of miles an hour around a big ball of fire. And if you can hold that perspective in your mind at the same time as you stand in solidarity with all of it and clear up whatever that cognitive dissonance is, that's your access to inner peace. Having no cognitive dissonance. You're the only one that can control whether or not you have cognitive dissonance. You're the only one with access to your programming. You have to learn to program yourself in such a way where your existence causes no cognitive dissonance. You can either do that by changing your circumstances to ones that cause you no cognitive dissonance, or you can change your threshold for cognitive dissonance. It's much easier to change your threshold than it is to change your circumstances sometimes. Sometimes it's easier to change the circumstances. Figure out whichever one's easier and do it. And that's how you reprogram yourself into inner peace. So I'm laying here in my 95 Honda Accord. I can't get comfortable. My ankle is swollen and it hurts. And I haven't ever admitted to when I've had an uncomfortable night because I wanted to make living in my car look good. For I have no fucking reason why. Because now that I admit that it doesn't work for me, the people who stand in solidarity with me will honor my choice to not suffer. I know this. This is how it works. But I wasn't willing to stand in solidarity with my fellow humans because I wasn't willing to show my suffering, which just gives other people permission to show their suffering. When we don't show our suffering, it's because we don't want to watch it in others. Fuck that noise. We have to stand in solidarity with each other. We just have to. And that fixes everything. In solidarity. I stand in solidarity with my fellow humans. And the fellow microbes and the fellow trees and the amazing things in the ocean. I mean, we've only scratched the surface of the ocean, thank God. I mean, who knows what impact we've had on, like, the deep, deep ocean? And, like, what colonies of things got slaughtered down there that are really important to the balancing of the tiny white rock that's hurtling through space. I mean, we've changed the makeup so much of what this earth is like that, I mean, we've never stood in solidarity with it as a race, because I think we'd still have records of that time, although maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody felt, oh, you know how world peace gets destroyed? Here, let's work backwards. Let's imagine world peace, and let's imagine what it would take for world peace to get destroyed. And then imagine everything that would have had to have happened to get to where we are. And then write the story of how we fell from grace. And tell the fucking truth. So that future generations can have the actual record, not the rewritten version that makes us look good. We can tell everybody how we fucked up and put that out into the universe. Tell the trees how badly we fucked up. Let's like letters to the trees and apologizing to them. You know, just for past generations, like, you know, just look back in all the ways we've not been standing in solidarity with each other and write it up and acknowledge it and make videos in the dark in your 95 Honda Accords or wherever you live and tell the fucking truth about where you live and how you live and how many people live with you and how much crowding there is and how scared you are about losing the roof over your heads, or scared that you won't be able to find a roof to sleep under, or scared that you'll be able to not find a rock to sleep on top of, that you're not going to get stepped on by a police officer. Tell the fucking truth. I give you permission. Just tell the fucking